Welcome to Common Sense Coalition Talk Radio, where you'll find straight talk from people with good old common sense.
I trust your opinion.
And now, for your host, she's putting sense back into nonsense.
Absolute insanity.
Well, you can hear me on the radio. You want to turn me on, turn on your stereo. You can sing along while they're playing our song. How you done me wrong, baby, crank it up.
And now, your host, Beth Ann.
And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today. And before we get started, that's really kind of a silly statement because we are started. But before we get started with the rest of the show, I have to announce, because I failed to do this yesterday, and I do apologize, I have to announce that CSC Talk Radio has joined K-Star Media. They will be airing Beth Ann, that's me, at 2:06 p.m. Eastern Time. And we welcome all the K-Star listeners to CSC Talk Radio. And thank you, K-Star, for being a part of bringing America home. Well, this is it. The day you have the duty to exercise your rights. Vote. Many will not, but you must. It is election day. Why, you ask? Why must I vote? Well, you must vote to bring America home. That's my answer. In the past many decades, we have lost manufacturing. We've lost jobs. Our taxes have gone up. And yeah, less money, more taxes. Our nation is turned inside, outside, upside down. Morals have gone south, and the illegal aliens are invading this nation. Not for the American dream, but for the Democrat scheme. It's rather long, but I have to share with you something of writing from Michael Small. He's a friend of CSC Talk Radio. After which I will bring my guest on the air. We'll continue to discuss how we can continue to make America great. Bring America home. So the elite society, what good are they with such a history of failure globally? Such is the reason we were born in a union of nations, so that we, the citizens, may set the lantern on high, so the world of slaves and social dependent people could see all people who carry the spark of ambition can and shall create rather than burn humanity's future. Sadly, that spark was almost removed by the so-called elite and their ambition to control wealth, land, and the people, all because citizens of this grand union of republics failed to maintain control over their own government. That would be you and me, you know. As was the dream of ancient Greece, the world would be a much greater place for all under one king. They failed to control the world even under Alexander the Great. They failed as a great society as citizen complacency and apathy set in, bringing on citizen dependency on a failed welfare society. Does that sound familiar? Ancient Rome fared no better. We prepared to vote, and we see many initiatives to vote upon the spending of money. And where does this money go? Where does this money come from? Not from creation of wealth, as leaders in all states and communities have allowed our industries to be shut down, placing the states as a nation welfare society, and the only wealth to be spent is ours by controlling all of our properties and using our homes, automobiles, and other properties as their personal, community, and state bank accounts. No initiative should ever be passed based on the cost on man's home and personal possessions. Yet, what have we learned from men like Thomas Jefferson, who warned us against tyrants who would steal everything they could? Great societies have always been built upon the creation of the acquisition of new wealth. All great societies have died from citizen dependency. Wow. How will you vote? I vote no. This is coming from Michael Small. I vote no on all initiatives until we have leadership that will build our communities and not tear it down from stealing the wealth of a nation and people. Poverty, the theft of Social Security, the theft of military retirements and veterans benefits, the theft of our homes and automobiles through tax and licensing, allowing citizens only as tenants and leases of our own property. Where is your sovereignty? Do you think you are free? You are a free person? Are you debt-free? Are you financially free? Are our borders threatened? Are we threatened by crimes and criminals, both from government and on our streets? No, my friends, we are not a free people, and we have no right to vote against our Constitution, and yet every state sees initiatives for state control over people by dismantling our Constitution after altering it for their evil purposes. The Second Amendment is the most abused, and yet every initiative against the working of our Second Amendment results in an illegal law that is not in agreement with the wording of our Constitution. The Fourth Amendment has been abused by the legal system when we find our First Amendment under attack more often today. And why? Your only vote on such initiatives should be no. Otherwise, you vote my life away and the lives of every man and woman who ever swore an oath to serve, protect, and defend our Constitution, and who will eventually have to fight to take back what ignorant citizens have given away. And that would be us, all of us. Vote, but vote wisely, Michael says. It is not about you. Your vote is for a Republican form of government based upon a Constitution for the protection of all. Now, when he says Republican, he's not talking about the party. The Constitution is very relevant today, as it is the only safety net for those who cherish freedom. Understand, you can never have real freedom unless you have sovereignty. It has been stolen as a bank robber steals from citizens. And he signs off. Best wishes to all. Now, today we have back our good friend and a sponsor of the show, a new sponsor in Liberty Tabletop. So we have Greg Owens, and he knows that manufacturing is coming back. Greg, welcome back to CSC Talk Radio.
Yes, thank you very much. And yes, manufacturing is roaring back, isn't it?
It is. You know, I know you have had the opportunity to meet the president, but I didn't get to shake his hand, but I sat in the rain and got very, very cold when he was in Columbia, Missouri last week. And it was awesome to watch him and listen to him speak. Even though you hear him on TV, but there's just something about watching Air Force One come down and land behind you and watch that president get off the plane and approach the crowd. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I bet it was quite an event.
It was. And, you know, we are bringing manufacturing back. We are bringing jobs back. It's coming little by little. A gentleman sitting in front of me, you know, when you go to these things, you meet all kinds of patriots. He's a veteran. He works at the VA in Columbia, Missouri. And he was saying, we were talking about the steel manufacturing. And I said, well, when the steel plants are opening, the coal plants are going to be opening as well, and it's going to trickle. It's going to trickle across the board, and more jobs are going to be made available to Americans. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I totally agree. And I think one of the interesting aspects of the trade agenda of the Trump administration is the fact that it hasn't become this big, huge political fight, because I think people behind the scenes that may want to turn it into that in the public and create a bunch of theater, which is basically what we see every day, they've backed off because they understand how critical it is. And the issue, in the words of Robert Lighthizer, is the issue is China. And I think everybody's coming to that realization, and not only here in the United States, but in Europe. I think they're putting the squeeze on them right now.
Well, we need to put the squeeze on. We need to put America first, and that's something, you know, they've gone after the president for saying that he's a nationalist, as if that was a dirty word, and they tried to make it that. And he's just simply trying to put America first, and that's what we need to do. We're going into a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some things that you have on your list. And I know that you voted. You told me you were going to vote before you showed up today. I'm going to vote when I'm done working. And we'll see.
I have the patch on my chest.
You got the patch, you got the sticker. Good for you. You wear it all day long. We're headed into a break. Your calls will be welcome at 877-895-5410. We're talking to Greg Owens of Liberty Tabletop, and we will be right back.